Hello Turtles! Welcome to Sarahcat, Monkeybird, and IndieDev's Game Development Arena. Since the last update, a few goodies have been added to Rally of Rockets. Shadows moved into the code base, a hardware project was tackled, and a nuclear business decision has been made. For many months, players in the playtest were requesting key binding support in Rally of Rockets. It has been a project on the list for a very long time, but not tackled because the interface needed more iterations, which were completed in the last episode. Key binding had lots of moving parts. First, each key needed to have a name to display and use for saving to file. Second, it needed to actively search all the keys during the binding search, which wasn't that hard but did produce some rather ugly code. Third, joystick and gamepad buttons needed to be added, perhaps the real driving force to adding the key binding support in the first place. After adding the gamepad buttons, the axes proved to throw back some punches. When bound to an axis, steer left and steer right should have the same binding. Extra code had to be written to handle this special case. Analog axes also have various directions of travel, making it necessary to support an inverted checkbox option. Now with binding support finished, most controllers can be used to play Rally of Rockets. The plan all along was to place shadows in the internal combustion engine, used for my 3D games, and it has finally happened. In the process, the Shadow Pass shader code was placed inline so the engine would not need to ship data files, reducing friction in the development or deployment process. The purpose of doing this is to give all future 3D projects the ability to add shadows with minimal effort. This means faster development. Months ago, Stream viewers TS Joss and the Choconut provided the initial support for Stream Helper to have remote abilities. This work allowed my Microsoft Surface floating around the office to act like a Stream Deck of sorts. However, it was always a stretch to press buttons. A trip to the hardware store bought the supplies and tools required, and a couple hours later, the Surface is now positioned about a foot closer, making it much easier to press the buttons. Finally, a nuclear business decision was made to place Rally of Rockets on hold in order to start work on a yet-to-be-named racing simulator project that has been the goal for a very long time. Rally of Rockets was meant to be a 4-month stepping stone project for supporters, though it quickly inflated as the quality bar was lifted to reach a wider player base. This increased scope dramatically, which holds back the dream simulator, as well as the confidence in reaching that wider player base, is shaky at best. There will be a farewell for now playtest, April 6, 9 a.m. Eastern, which brings in all of the new goodies to the public, including a surprise that has never been shown. With that decision, most of the work going forward is going to be cleanup and other tasks that affect both projects. To capture more dynamic shots and clips for trailers and devlogs, some new cameras were added to the engine. One of these acts like a drone that flies around smoothly with a gamepad controller. By adding acceleration and inertia to the camera, it feels more lifelike. Another simple camera was added that spins around a target that you can easily adjust the zoom and height. It has now been 10 years since I started my 2,200-mile hike along the Appalachian Trail from Georgia to Maine. A couple days were spent on my stream showing pictures and telling stories of the amazing adventure. It really brought me back. Since the last devlog entry, I worked more than 53 hours. To keep up with my projects, subscribe and click the bell icon for notifications. I also have a Patreon if you wish to provide financial support, although you can support me for free with a thumbs up and sharing of this video. As always, Turtles, until later, have a good one.